All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Keeping It G100. What up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Keeping It 100 with G100. I am your host, Jada Prodigy, owner, founder, and artist of G100 Records. Today, I'm interviewing Young Rose. Tell them what's up.
What's up?
All right, I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and I want your honest, your brutally honest, realest response ever.
Got you.
All right. If you can go back in time and change anything in your career, what would it be and why?
Damn, you coming hard, huh?
Yeah, these are honest questions. These are deep questions to get to know the artist.
It would probably be to start recording earlier. So I started writing music in sixth grade, and I didn't start recording until freshman year of high school.
Hmm. All right. If any famous director could do a movie on your life and career, who would it be?
Oh shit! Really know movie directors that well. I might have to go with Steven Spielberg. That's the only one I really know.
Who is your dream feature and why?
Dream feature.
Like your dream collab on music.
To me, really, it all depends on the song. If it's a slower song, honestly, probably Rod Wave, no lie. But if it's a fast, like hyper upbeat song, shit, probably Ski Master Slump God.
Yeah, I fuck with that. I fuck with that. If you were to change genres, what genre would you change to?
Uh, Scream rap for sure.
Some of these kind of fast since you are on press time. So this is gonna be one of the quickest thing I ever did. If anyone could shoot your video, who would you let do it?
Cole Bennett or Drew filmed it.
What's your favorite thing about your music and why?
To me, just a raw emotion I got coming from it. Everything I write down comes straight from the heart. There ain't nothing that's fabricated about it. There's nothing else that nobody writes about it. It's just straight me.
How would you describe your music and overall image?
Brutally honest.
If you had to move away to boost your career, where would you move and why?
Houston, Texas. It ain't that far. And to me, I'm big in the car, so their drag racing scene is crazy.
If your music could change anything in the world, what would it change? What would you want your music to change in the world if you could change something?
I started doing music to let people know that they're not alone by themselves, that some of the shit that they're going through, that other people went through it already, and other people there for it already experienced it.
Why did you choose your genre? So why did you choose the genre you're in?
Rhyming just came natural to me, and I found that I was just randomly rhyming words.
How would others describe your music?
Slow, very slow.
What's your
Slow
favorite?
enough. I've had people tell me that it's extremely personal.
I like that. What's your favorite song or project out of your whole catalog / discography?
Oh shit. There ain't much to choose from, but um honestly, probably the one I'm working on now. It's a lot of shit that's just been going on in my life over the last couple of years. The one that's about to be released in hell, I don't even know when because I still gotta record it all. But it's probably the one I'm working on right
What or who in music inspired you to start your career?
now. Matter of fact, I got his name right here. That son of a bitch. Young Germ Vilone, whatever the heck you want to call him. My older brother. Shout out to Big Bro.
Yeah, I don't want to make this too quick or like too long, but we know Germ through school. Well, I know him through school. We went to the same school and all and shit. I already used to talk with him. I never met him till like my second year. I know it was my homeboy Jeremy. Jeremy, I didn't know like who he was. Like he seemed like low key famous. So like or graduated. So that's
That
why.
was my dog. That's my older brother. That's an evil twin, you know.
Yeah, I used to. I'm friends with his cousin. You met him a couple times.
Yeah.
How do you see a career in the future?
For music,
Yes.
honestly, probably just going straight to producing. Just keep my writings to myself, going straight to producing, just staying there for a little bit. Maybe popping off later in a couple of years or whatever with actual written music. But as of right now, I'm just focusing on producing.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Producing mainly. That's what I always wanted to do. Like they say, I wanted to be a producer. That's what like I didn't originally plan to be an artist, an overall artist. Maybe I was like planning to do it here and there, but I didn't plan to do it. I was planning to be like a producer, like the next Dr. Dre. Since a kid, that's been like my plan since a kid, but plans change.
Yeah, I actually started. The only reason I actually started releasing it was I was in the middle of class with Jeremy, and I was writing it down on a paper. I used to write all of my stuff on paper. So digital now it's just easier to keep track of and all of that. My handwriting ain't the best, so I chose it that way. But he actually picked up the paper. I was like, man, what the fuck is this? I said, it's just some shit I've been writing, man. He started reading over it and he goes, man, you gotta release this shit, dude. I was like, nah, I can't release that. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't ready, you know.
How would you say your career is going so far?
Very, very slow. I started off with a bigger buzz when I first came out. It's been real slow, but I ain't been dropping nothing, so I can't blame nobody but myself really for it. But I don't mind where it's at right now. I don't get recognized that much, and I really don't mind that. I
I
like
know that
my
you
privacy I got.
I know that you are young. You're a young artist. You started your career not too long ago, but this is a question that I ask normally everybody. But what's the biggest moment in your career so far since you just started your career? And you're not been in the game too long. So what is your career? Your biggest moment, like the biggest moment you have had in your career so far?
It was probably so I'm in my fourth year of doing it right now. Um, it's probably going into my second year. I got signed from a label overseas called Wasp Records. Developed a really good relationship with them, and we just ended up hitting it off. And I'm still signed to them to this day.
Do you like your label?
I do. They're very they're not super demanding. They kind of tell you when they need shit, but other than that, I got control over all my music. I control who owns it. I own all of it, so I got nothing to complain about with them really.
Would you recommend your label to other artists if they ask, "Hey, where can I? You think I can get in on a deal at or like a contract with?" Would you recommend it to them?
I would, but there's a few things about it. If you're not good with people, I wouldn't. Seriously. They they talk in a way that it's confusing to understand sometimes. You gotta almost break down what they tell you.
If you had to start a group with anyone, who would it be and why? Like
It
a
could
rap
be
group.
any artist.
It can be anybody. It can be anybody famous, local, underground,
Um,
dead or alive.
I've
Just
been listening to a lot of Louisiana artists being from Baton Rouge and everything. My label or group or whoever will probably consist of me, Jeremy, and JD Youngin. JD Youngin or Kevin Gates.
What's your creative process?
So I've actually been told my creative process is completely backwards. Normally, from what I understand, a lot of people start out with a beat and then they write to the beat. I start writing before I even have a beat.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like don't feel bad. So mine is kind of like the same way. Just depends, really. But you're not alone on that. Like that's a lot of people like that. Sometimes I do the hook first, or sometimes I get a verse. It just depends on what the thing is, like what the song and the beat is.
Yeah, like I think I have yet to write a song where I've had the beat first. I think it's always been lyrics and finding a beat that matches it. That's why a
Let's see.
lot of the tracks I have are just produced by me because I know what kind of beat I want. It's hard for me to portray that to other people.
This question. Sometimes this question is it's kind of a comedy question, but it's not. But I get comedy style answers. That's why I say it's kind of a comedy question. If you had to choose if any company, if you had to make a product with any company or collab with any company for a product, what company would you choose and what would be the product? I've heard,
Oh shit.
I've heard I would have my own root, my own gumbo roux from another person I interviewed. I've heard a jury company. What company and what would the collab be?
Um, it's actually a company I've been in love with since I'm a little kid. I'd have to go with Dodge, the automotive company. And what I would probably do is sell my own wheels for vehicles, trucks, cars, whatever. Sell my own wheels.
What would the product look like if somebody had to envision your wheels would be like? What the wheels be
Big
like?
ass chrome wheels. Either big ass chrome wheels or a high horsepower engine.
Same question, but same style question, same type, same kind of question. But if you had to choose one business venture besides music that could blow up overnight, what would it be? It can be clothing line, it can be video
Clothing.
games.
Yeah, clothing. I actually started my own, I guess, clothing company, if you will. I mean, custom shirts and hoodies and all of that. Like, I got a pair of Crocs. I mean, it's just a certain number that's in that collection. And once that's it, that's it. It's called American Wasteland.
What would your for like people watching this? Can you describe what your clothing line would be? What it look like for them to envision it?
Um, Heavily punk inspired. I've been inspired by punk for a while, actually, when I was growing up. I got tired of listening to rap, seriously, for like 4 or 5 years. I just didn't listen to rap. I stopped listening to it. I stopped trying to write it. And I ended up getting into old 80s punk metal, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, Kiss, people like that. And I got really into their style of clothing. And lately, I've kind of been going more into that style, if you will, not with my writing, but just with the clothing that I wear. So it's similar to certain companies like Bones, Trash by Sting, small companies that just make limited collections of clothing.
Let's see. Any artists locally underground that you've been feeling lately that's like from the Louisiana era that area that you want to mention?
Oh man,
I
a
can
lot of the really small underground artists I listen to are really Louisiana. I don't really know that many of them. Jada Youngin to me isn't very widely known like Kevin Gates or Young Boy. That'd be the only local underground artist I really know.
anybody that like us, I mean like people I meant like people like us that are local, like
Uh, I really ain't been keeping up with it lately, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
uh
I don't really know that many local people. Me and the venue Jeremy used to perform at was a downtown called Dat Dog, and the only reason we performed at it was because I was actually dating the owner's daughter for like a period of time. And
Yeah,
once they ended up leaving, they ended up moving to Denham Springs in Louisiana.
yeah,
I don't even know if they're still there, but once that venue closed down, we pretty much just stopped performing in Lafayette because after that, the pandemic hit, and I ain't done a show since.
yo, that dog is not even there no more. I know I could detest that because I'm not downtown often. I'm going down there this weekend because of Festival International, and
Yeah, me and my girl are going over there actually this weekend. Just
it's not
going
even
check
there
it
no
out.
more. That sad. That has saddened me. Look, I haven't been to that venue, but I've been to what's the other place? Wing Fingers. That made me almost cry, dog.
Yeah,
Wing Fingers not even there no more. They both
Wing
closed.
Fingers are going too.
Yep, because they both closed down because of COVID. And that's what I hate COVID
Damn,
because
that's pretty much the only two places me and him would be. Is either Wing Fingers or that dog.
he also performs at the Boom Boom Room. I don't know where that is at. I think it's a club though, like Freedom Town or whatever. I never.
Yeah, well, he's actually in El Paso. He's living in El Paso right now. He ain't been in Louisiana in a minute.
Yeah, I know. I've been seeing him travel a lot. He been going to California and everything. I need to get an interview with him. Enough about him. This is about you though.
Yeah,
If you had to collab with any famous person dead or alive, like your famous rapper that's dead or alive, who would it be? I've heard some people say Andre 3000, Lil Wayne, et cetera, et
really would
cetera.
love to do some try out some screamo type shit with NASCAR. Hollow. A lot of people don't know who that is. It's almost if you took Slipknot and mixed it with almost if you took Slipknot and you mixed it with a with any rapper pretty much.
Yeah, I know.
Very aggressive, very screamo,
I listen to
just
NASCAR
on
a
some weird
lot,
shit.
but a lot of people who watching this might not watch Ask Carnalo, but that's what we listen to. I listen to him a lot. One of my favorite songs from him is Ass Kickers On. That song is very
Yeah.
aggressive.
No, he's actually dropping something tonight. I think he's coming out with a whole other album tonight. So I can't wait to listen to that shit.
Your dream concert, not one you would go to, like your dream concert that you would put on in front of thousands and thousands of fans of performing, like your dream performance.
Like, what would it be or where would it be?
What would it be and where would it be? Like what? Like give us an image of where would it
So
be?
I would probably have to do Baton Rouge. Being from there, I feel like I got to put on for my city. Um, it would probably be a mixture of almost like like heavy metal vibes, but also rap vibes. So it would almost be something in the middle. There'd be big ass speakers or whatever hanging from the ceiling that you could feel the bass in your chest. But then there'd also be fire pits and pyro and all of that shit that you would have at a rock concert. I just want to mix the two of them together just to see what the fuck would happen.
Yeah. Do you like the genre you're in? Do you like your music? Like from a fan point of view, like do you like it?
Personally, I've actually heard this from a lot of artists. I've talked to multiple artists about it. A lot of artists don't like their own music. Um, I have I've learned to enjoy certain parts of this genre, but there's also certain parts of this genre that I really don't care for, honestly. uh,
Like,
if I had to switch genres, though, as outlandish as it sounds, it would either be, like I said, screamo type rap, or it would be
yeah,
country. A lot of people don't expect that from me, but I might end up switching to country in the near future.
like I make all kind of beats and all kind of stuff, like all kind of songs. I switch it up, man. I don't have a style, but I've heard this from my dad. He said a way to know to a way to know if you have good music or not is if you listen to it. Like that's it. Not like what I mean by listen to it, I mean like not when you're making it. It's when like you actually like just like scrolling through your SoundCloud and you actually listen to it and you sit down and listen to it and you actually like it from a fan point of view. That's what I've been told. It's like the way you know that type of goes if you actually sit down and listen to your music outside of recording it, mixing it, and mastering it. Outside of that, when you just sit down and listen to it as a listener, and just listen to it as a
Yeah.
listener, and you like it, and you just listen to it over and over again, and you like it. That's how you know you have good music. So that's what I tell a lot of people. If you want to know how to listen to music, sit down outside of like listen to the music outside of recording it. Don't just sit down and record it like that sounds good. Might sound good to you at the moment, but does it sound good as a listener when you're listening to it by
See,
yourself?
what I do is, like you said, I listen to it, I listen to the lyrics, then I record it, then I listen to it again, then I listen to it over a beat, and then I listen to it again, and then I leave it. I put it out, whatever, send it to the label, or just put it out. I'll come back to it a couple of months later and just listen to it without just forgetting it exists almost, working on other shit. And I'll listen to it again and be like, damn, there's certain things I didn't like about how I do that. Or I'll change the pitch of how I sound. Because as you can hear, I have a naturally deep voice. So it's kind of hard to pick that up on a microphone sometimes because a lot of my words sound muffled and almost slurred.
Okay, I asked this to a lot of people, especially a lot of young people. If you could change, if you could pick a time to be born into like the era of music, what era of music would you be born into? Like, I must ask rappers this: what era of rap they want to be born into, so they can like come
Mm-hmm.
back, so they can start their career. And so, what era of of music? I must since you want like you kind of say you would change things. So, what era of music would you do? Like the '80s, the '90s? I normally ask like my rapper people I interview. I ask them, "Would you want to be at the like, beginning of rap?" Which is like the '80s, like the beginning of rap, where they first created it, or
See,
like
I'm a very historical person. Actually, a lot of people don't notice about me. I'm a huge history nerd. And I was actually thinking about going to school to be a history teacher if music didn't pop off, or if I didn't have another plan in mind. But honestly, it would either be early 2000s or it would be late 80s on Sunset Boulevard.
yeah, that's what I want to say. I would honestly, if I had to choose, I'd probably be like the beginning of rap, like when they first created, like rap was first getting started in New York when they had the rap circles on the streets. I'm talking about that Grandmaster Flash, not a. I'm talking about the stuff the young people don't know about because I'm a hip hop. I call myself a walking hip hop encyclopedia because I know a lot about for a lot of like almost every era of rap. I know a lot of history behind rap, so you can ask me about NWA, Grandmaster Flash, KRS, Boogie Down Productions. Now you can ask me a lot about music, and I'll probably most likely know about it. And that's what I like to. I would like to be born in that era. Let's see some more questions
Yeah,
I can
I
ask you.
don't think that'd be a bad era to be born in either. Just to me, it'd be very interesting to just watch it happen and just watch it grow into what it is now. And to a degree, I'm almost envious, yeah, I guess you will, if of people that were able to watch it, I guess, grow up as a genre.
Yeah, that's an interesting era because that era was just dope artists. Let's see. Let's see more questions I can ask you because like I don't want to leave this question these the episode's too short. 'Cause my episodes are normally like 20 minutes to an hour, 50 minutes at the least. Let's see another question. Like I know you kind of told us your like who is like your biggest inspirations in hip hop? Like your biggest inspirations?
Oh, biggest inspiration now for hip hop. Um, it's between Juice World. Oh, shit. See, I don't really know if you would consider NASCAR out as hip hop or if you would consider him as punk. So I'm gonna say he's considered punk in this situation. So it would probably be Juice WRLD.
Hmm. What's it? So, from a fan, since I know you love all kinds of music, what is your dream concert to go to?
Dream concert to go to. Oh shit. He actually just left Louisiana. So for country music, usually Morgan Wallen, as controversial as he is over the whole situation that happened a couple of years ago, country would have to be Morgan Wallen. Hip hop would probably be JD Young or Kevin Gates. And rock or punk would probably be NASCAR Allo.
Hmm. Yeah, NASCAR Aldo last year came to Louisiana. He was in New Orleans, I think, like twice. I can't remember. He was in New Orleans not too long ago.
Yeah, for sure. Next time he comes, I gotta find a way to get in.
Also, the
That's just
Suicide Boys was just in
crazy.
town too.
Yeah, they're from New Orleans, so I kind of expect them to see them here.
Um, I know you have a deep a relationship with Germ. So, do you have any songs with them like that? Like, what is like I know
I
you
don't.
do.
He actually ended up moving away before we could end up collaborating on anything. I do regret that a lot.
Your favorite feature, if you have any out right now, what is your favorite
I think
feature?
I have any out right now, honestly. I think everything I've done has been solo. I'm almost positive everything I have has been solo. Now, collaborative, I have done beats for certain people. I have collaborated with beats for certain people, but like as of actual lyrics and music, I don't have any features. Everything is all self.
If you had to have a song produced by any producer in the world, like it can be famous, low key, unknown, who would you want to produce your song, a Young World song? I've heard
Uh,
answers like Dr. Dre. I've heard all kinds of answers.
um, you find anybody to produce it. Uh, Shit, I would have to go. There's just a lot of good producers in my head. Metro Boomin is up there. I'd love Metro to produce it because everything he makes is just a fucking hit. But if it can be any producer, I know he doesn't do it too often anymore. But seriously, Kanye West, that would be ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. Let's see. If you had to release an iconic album that would blow up and be known forever in hip hop, what would it be? Like, give us an image of that, or what would it be like if you had to release an iconic album?
Oh, for me personally, as as much of a gift that I have, in my opinion, of being able to write real shit that actually happened in my life and making it sound good and marketable. A lot of the dumb shit that I end up writing because of bullshit ends up selling the best. And honestly, if I had an album that I could choose to blow up, it would be some of the most lyrical shit I would ever write, just so that way everybody can hear it, to kind of hear my story and hear, have other kids hear it or have adults hear it or whatever and go, damn, this kid been through a lot of shit, but he's still staying in know.
I'm not gonna lie about you're right about that. About 80, I want to say about 80% of the of our music and hip hop is now bullshit nowadays. It's mumble rap and it's about drugs, leans, and guns. Like that's what everybody cares about nowadays. That's like this generation is based on. And like I
A
want to
lot of
say
the
that
music I write is about my previous drug history. I did have a problem with it before I ended up meeting my girlfriend. She actually saved me from that.
I'm
Very heavy into sipping, and it damn near almost killed me.
I'm not talking about that. Like I'm talking about the bullshit side of, oh, I party every day. I'm talking about like the party side of it. I'm not talking about the depressed. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about the depression
that
side
shit
of it.
gets old to me. I can't listen to it for too
Yeah,
long.
sometimes I don't mind. I don't mind talking about the depression side of drugs because it's still a lyric. There's still a lyrical element into that. But I want to say
To
like
me,
about
I just can't stand listening to it for too long because to me, after a while, if every artist starts rapping about it all, and they all just start to sound like the same fucking artist,
yeah.
then you have no variety in the genre. That's one of the reasons I love country music. Actually, is there's a general, I guess, style of country, if you will, but the only newer artist for country I really listen to is Morgan Wallen. If you had to ask me my favorite country artist, though, dead or alive, is Johnny Cash. Seriously, old Johnny Cash or old George Jones. I just find it interesting, very interesting. Just the way that they talked about certain things, like how they were back then, is just fascinating to me because you think of shit that we have now, and it's like, damn, dude, to them back then it was a luxury, you know.
I want to say about 90% of our genre we do right now, which is rap and hip hop. I want to say about 90%. I could be wrong. So everybody out in the comments don't come at me, but I want to say about 90% of that is lyrical, is good, the actual shit that's worthwhile. And the thing about love about hip hop and rap, you can mix it with anything. I listen to sometimes a little bit of country rap, like which means like they have like some people that are here, or like the southern style rap, or even like I was just thinking that like pop, like the pop, country pop. I listen to a little bit of everything. Like you can mix anything, at least genre, like the genres. You can mix a lot of genres out there. So I listen to a mixture of genres, especially like the genres that come to as when two genres come as one. Even like
If you
horrorcores.
wanna, you listen to Lil Durk.
Yes,
Have you heard his song with Morgan Wallen, Broadway Girls?
I think I.
It's it's a very, to me it's very unexpected how they would collaborate like that. That's not really something you end up seeing a whole lot, and if you do, it's a very old artist that hasn't been seen in years. You know, like Lil Nas X and Billy Ray Cyrus that used to do country music, but he just ended up collaborating with Lil Nas X just for the fun of it. But to me, I actually managed to get unreleased files of the Broadway Girls song before Dirk was even on it. And I already kind of had that feeling that he was going to put somebody else on it. I just didn't know who he was going to put on it. And he put Dirk on it. And to me, that was just a perfect fit.
In my opinion, in this music business and as an artist, you have to be open to change and you have to be open and creative. Not just listen to one genre. I literally have had like I've heard non-artist people and they're close minded. Like it sounds so close minded that rock music is white people music. No, if you really think about it, rock music was really started by a black person, but as somebody that's beside the point. Rock is really like you have to be open to all kinds of music. It's like I listen to everything because you can't just elevate and just grow as a person, like as an artist and a person if you don't be open and like just listen to other things and just experience other stuff through other music. You can't be an artist if you're just that close-minded person because you're never gonna grow your brand and just make better music.
So, as crazy as it sounds, I ended a couple of years ago. I taught myself how to play piano. So, as weird as it sounds, I know how to play piano. I'm actually pretty decent at it. However, even though I can play piano, I don't know how to read sheet music. I can't read sheet music. I don't know how to do it. And to me, that's always people always like, well, how the hell do you play piano and not know how to read sheet music? If you press the keys long enough, you figure out what key makes noise. And that's kind of how I figured it out. But I'm pretty much open to to trying at least any kind of style of music because I just like to see what else is out there. To me, if you don't explore different genres of music, you can't really grow as an artist. Because, like you said, you're closed minded, and that's going to be the only kind of music you make. And then after a while, it's just going to get boring. It's going to get repetitive, and you're going to lose people off of it because every song is going to end up sounding the same.
don't feel bad. I feel like this is becoming more common. Like I can I was never in band, but a couple times, like eighth grade night, on eighth grade night, eighth grade night, and sometimes I used to sneak into games with the band, football games with the band. Back when I was in high school, I used to play the drums going into the field. I can't reach music to read my life, but I can if I can hear it, I can low key match. Like my cousin, he was in band when he was in high school, and he can't read sheet music, but he can drum his ass off. Like even this the drumline stories, the drumline movie is a true story. He could not read sheet music, but he could drum. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
really, to me, reading, I did learn how to read it at one point, but I didn't use it for so long. I just ended up forgetting how to do it. But like you said, you don't need to be able to read sheet music to end up sounding really good on an instrument. As long as you can hear it and replicate what it sounds like, you could be the best damn person. I'm actually trying to teach myself guitar for an upcoming song I have that I want to release. I'm in the process of teaching myself how to play guitar, and it's very different from any other instrument I've played. It's not similar to anything. It's its whole different entity.
Technology nowadays, there's apps. Even if you want to know it's the unconventional way, the unoriginal way, but nowadays people learn through YouTube. Somebody can become a producer overnight, just watching, not overnight, but like within a month, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, can be a mediocre producer just by watching YouTube. And it's not that hard. Like I used to be able to, like when I was back in fifth grade, I could never read sheet music, but I could kind of play the bells. I can kind of match it. I was kind of learning, but I could never read sheet music. But all you gotta do is easy as a Google search. You can use your phone. There's literally dozens of apps by using guitar that can teach you how to play guitar, and you can be
To
a
me,
decent.
technology it's a great tool, but at the same time, I think it's way too overused.
It's a cursing. It's a blessing and a curse, but sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. So it's a 50-50. It's like you have to take the good with the best. So really, it's just depending on who you ask, and it's depending on the situation.
To me, I think it's a great way to get your name out there and show what you have. Like right now, what I'm doing with you, all the people that you have that listen to you see this and they go, damn, I wonder who this kid is. Let me go check some of his shit out. It's a great way to help you grow, but at the same time, the game of music is just so fast that if you don't keep up with it, you fall face first every time. And once you start falling, most of the times there really ain't a way to catch yourself.
Sometimes like sometimes some people like sometimes you can make a song, somebody can feel what you're saying, they can relate to you. But I feel like if you can sit down and watch an or interview or get to at least get to talk to them for a split sec, you can get to feel them more and build a different connection and see what they have in common. So that's why I like to interview people so people can watch this, so they can get to see the real artist, the true artist, and how they came to be this great person, this almighty talented person. That's why I like to talk to people and see and open their minds, just get a let people get a chance to interview in their lives and see more than just music and more than just everything more. It's more towards career and what they want to be, but it gets the chance to show the artists to show themselves and who they are. And that's why I love it.
I think that's a great thing to do because, like you said, a lot of people they listen to the music and then they go, "Well, damn, well, this is kind of all I got to see what they're like," and they end up basing their whole judgment off of what this person is like, off of this one piece that they have, which uh, to a degree I understand because if you don't have any other way of seeing what this person is like, then you go off of what you have. But and I almost feel like it's not fair in a way because if you try to judge somebody off of the only thing that you have, you can't get a full formed opinion on it.
And that's why I put a visualizer before every interview inside every in all my podcasts and all my interviews. I have my intro and then I have the artist's song in a visualizer so they can see the music and get a taste of the music, and then it cuts to the interview so they can get the music and the artist and get the full aspect of it. And they decide if they like the music in the beginning, they like who you are as a person, they can go and check you out, and you can build a fan base off of that. So that's why I like to interview people and upload it and send it to, so not just your fans can see your interview and get to know a little bit more about you, but new art. You can see new people get to hop on your music and get to see what you do in your everyday life and your career and everything. That's why I post it here. I post it on YouTube. Even though I don't have many viewers now, over time it's gonna stack up, and I know I'm gonna be like big like Adam 22. So that's why I interview people now, so they can get to see the before they blew up and after they blew up. And I'm gonna like every I'm about to start doing artist updates. So like 3 months from now or 6 months from now, I'm about to come back and interview again. So see what has changed and what you got going on. So I'm about to do updates from my other artists that I've interviewed. And that's why I like interviewing people. Honestly, it gets them all about them. So like, what's your opinion on today's music compared to back then? Like for me, I think like from back then, it has more substance and a little more morality. With us, we like depending on the artist, we still have a little bit of morals. I just like they're not as strong, depending on who you ask, as they used to be
To
back
me,
then.
based off back then to now, oh, excuse me, it's you can hear the change in just how they speak. So it's not the same, and what they're speaking is real life events. That's one of the main reasons I kind of decided to go the route that I did, was based off of real things that were happening in my life. But at the same time, it kind of, like you said, harkens back to that old style of this is this is what this artist is going through, and I can connect with them through that because I feel like I'm the only one in this situation where I'm at right now.
Like what I mean by morality, I mean like you still have artists like the back in the day, like J. Cole. J. Cole, he can make a party song, but he's more of that Tupac. I'm not comparing him to Tupac, but he's that lyricist that can talk about
He's a storyteller, and that's one of the
yes,
things I love about J. Cole is that he's a storyteller. You listen to his music, but he's one of those artists I feel like you got to go back and listen
he
to
can
really see what he's talking about because it's a story.
he's a person that anybody can relate to. Like he makes music to everybody can relate to. Where the like from like depending on what the song is, like he can tell you, oh, I've been broke. I know what you're going through. And then he can compare it to the broke man who ain't got nothing. Then he can compare it to the rich man. I'm like somebody like the baby. Not everybody can compare it to a person like the baby, which is he's a rich street mother or street nigga, as everybody likes to call him. Not everybody can compare to that. Oh, I fuck bitches on a basic daily basis. I do drugs every day. Not everybody would compare it to like the party music. Not everybody can compare it to that. Oh, I party every day in the club. That's why I say the morality and the morals have changed because all the girls, it seems nowadays, this is what I'm saying, what it seems like every teenage girl or girl that's who's in their 20s wants to be like a hot girl or
Yeah,
an
and
ice girl,
that's
and they don't want to be like,
to me that's interesting. You can't really find a good genuine girl now because they all want to be
I
hopping
mean
from
they got
dude
them.
to dude.
I'm not saying every girl is like that,
No, no,
but
no, for sure. Not every girl is like that, but
what
to
happened.
me, it seems like the girls are starting to become a big majority of girls that are like that.
And some like this is a rarity. Some of the girls are becoming street girls now too, as well. Like Young M&A, she's a lyricist, so I'm gonna let her go. But I kind of know her story, so like my let that slide. And I listen to her. I'm a big fan of her. But they got some street girls now too. But What happened to the women, the girls who had more the women who had to be like the Queen Latifah? I ain't gonna let you call me a B word. I ain't gonna let you call me a hoe or a slut.
Yeah,
What happens to the girls like Queen Latifah? Like, oh, I'm a black queen or I'm a queen. I got morals. Not just shaking my ass and
to
popping
me,
my.
that is one of the things I do miss. Old female artists, like you said, Queen Latifah or Mary J. Blige or Missy Elliott or people like them, is that they had morals beyond just their body. They're not just rapping about their body and what it can do and how it looks and all of that, or go and enhance it.
But
Me
part of
personally, I can't really listen to stuff like that because and to me, I find it aggravating. I really do.
but part of that is being a product of the environment what's been put in front of them, what they've been force fed for years, what y'all been watching because like the way the reason why they like that nowadays is because they grew up both watching love and hip hop or realize how to Atlanta they've been force fed and they've been putting all this stuff in front of them, so they've been force fed the image. So they're just being kind of the force fed product of their environment, not like their surrounding everyday life, but like what's been put in front of them for like so long. So that's why I think they just imitating what they saw. So that's what
Yeah,
I think it is.
and whenever you're growing up, that's really what influences. It's not really, to me. I found it's not really people that influence you. It's your environment that influences you more than anything.
But more or
A
less,
lot of people know me and they think I'm just this white kid that tries to be black and do everything like that. But that's the environment I grew up in. I was one of the only white people that was known in Baton Rouge, that I knew of in Baton Rouge. That's just what I was surrounded with. It's not like I'm trying to imitate with the way that I talk or the way that I act, or it's just it's the, like you said, it's the environment that I was brought up
not a lot of people
in. And
know that.
everybody kind of did it.
Well, you have to be in the know to know that a Baton Rouge, there's two sides to Baton Rouge, and this is like called a tell us, there's a tell of two city, two the tell of us, there's two tells of a city, which is there's two sides of a tell of a city. There's one city, two tells. The dark side, which is the hood side where all the killings go on and the gang stuff, you see all the bad shit, and then there's the good side of it, which is like literally you as soon as you enter Baton Rouge, you're in the hood, but you can drive like 20 minutes, 30 minutes up the road, and it's just suburbia, where it's just
Yeah,
all the white
like
people.
seriously, if I had to choose a place to live in, I would choose the dead middle of Baton Rouge. I've been to it. It's very nice. It really is.
Like
A lot of people don't see that. Like you said, it's a tale of two cities. It's almost like entering two completely different worlds whenever you go in there. It's crazy.
like when you're in Baton Rouge, I'm gonna tell you this: Baton Rouge, like LSU, like the LSU campus, is in the middle of the hood. You like like 5 minutes, up the road, like from LSU is legit the hood, and they got like homeless people. Like, then you can go like this is literally smack dab and half and half. It's in the middle of two cities, in the middle of towns. Go like one half of the side of like out of like the street, and like that's like 20 minutes up there, and it's like all white, like nothing but businesses and like shops that's like suburbia kind of style. And then you have the hood, it's like the fast food joint, hustlers and shit, and gang and graffiti. That's why it's like force fed. So yeah, like you have to be in the know to know like city, like it's half hood,
You,
half.
you gotta know that it's not all like that. A lot of people, they see Young Boy out of Baton Rouge and Kevin Gates out of Baton Rouge, and they think all that Baton Rouge has is just hood street shit, and it
Yeah,
doesn't.
so
And
they
it kind of upsets me to see. You almost feel disappointed in your city for showing that side of itself, I guess, if you will. And I don't know how other people feel about that, but
but like
to me, it's almost to a degree. It's like, damn, we got more than this.
people are like people say people outside of us, like outside of Louisiana, people would just listen to the music and just not like trying to like kind of like know like the war and the beef going on. They're just looking from the outside and they're just seeing it through a looking glass. They don't know. They're not in the know. So they're just seeing, oh, this is all the state has to offer. They're just seeing it through a looking glass, and only seeing one side of the looking glass and not seeing through the bright side of the looking glass. So they don't know that people graduate from LSU almost not every day, but they have a lot of people who graduate from there. Like my sister, she is a successful graduate in business from LSU. So
And you
yeah,
could do Baton Rouge is like you said, it's home to LSU, and if you look like in football, I know the draft was going on later tonight or earlier tonight. If you look at it, a lot of good people for football come out of LSU. And you to me, you really wouldn't think Louisiana has got that presence to it. You look like dudes like Joe Burrow came out of LSU. You look at dudes like Odell that came out of
Odell,
LSU,
yes.
and you just see and you go, damn, I didn't even know he came from that.
Like small people like in my city, like Cupid, everybody knows the Cupid Shuffle. He comes from a small city, it's not more common now, but like everybody knows the Cupid Shuffle. Like nobody wants to hear anybody else sing Cupid Shuffle but Cupid. Like I remember Cupid, he lost his touch and he went to The Voice. And he said, and one of the judges said, I want to hear nobody sing Cupid Shuffle but Cupid Shuffle because he saying he felt like he was losing touch and let me get so like there's more to this than just small city. There's a there's a people from Baton Rouge who's been nominated for Grammys. People from Lafayette who've been nominated for Grammys and have won Grammys.
Yeah, and like you said, it's really not something that people think about because, like you said, they see just one side of it, and they're from the outside looking in, and they see that this is all the city has to offer. And it's not. We got a lot more shit we can give them. They're just not ready for it yet.
You have to you have to you have to go into somebody's world in order to lead them out. You have to walk into somebody's world in order to lead them out of there, lead them out and to see what's going on and just more than just what you're seeing. And that's from
For
my
sure,
point.
because to a lot of people, I do music on the side. It's not the main thing I do anymore. At this point, I'm kind of just doing it to keep myself going. I use it as a form of therapy, which I know a lot of artists do that. They use it as a form of therapy that they can use to whenever they're feeling down or they're feeling upset or whatever, they can go write something down and just be like, damn, I feel better because I got it off of my chest. But I'm actually a mechanic. I've
Like
been teaching myself how to do mechanics, and you kind of look at it
like
in a way.
I saw this interview with Rod Wave not too long ago. He said the reason why people cry when they when it's it's like the reason why young people cry when listening to Rod Wave because when they in the club or just somewhere listening to oh turn up pop pills fuck bitches they just like that just hides it and like you can listen to that all year long and then when you hear my record it just let you out it's like cause he really knows I know what you're going through I know what you're really feeling so it's okay to feel that
Yeah, Rod Wave actually is.
that's
He's
why it
actually one
seems
of
like
my guilty pleasures as Rod Wave is listening to Rod Wave.
that's why it
I
seems
love
like
his music and I love how he talks about it. I love the singing that he does. His voice just sounds amazing to me.
well I
And
was
I've
sure
always loved it because of the fact that, like you said, he's almost like I'm not comparing him to J. Cole, but the way that he talks about in music is similar to me to J. Cole because of how he portrays himself. He doesn't always does he have chains, yeah, but it's not these super huge chains that are so heavy you can only wear it for like 5 minutes.
this man is like he's one of the most humble artists you can see him he can go out even though he owns all his expensive clothing this man will go out in a hoodie sweatpants and Crocs and perform on stage that's how humble he is and now that's because
He
not a
can
lot of
buy any
artists
clothing he wants, but yet he chooses to go out and simple shit, and I really appreciate that for him.
not
I think that's a great thing to show people that you don't need to be all this. You don't need to have expensive clothes and expensive jewelry and all of that to to be a musician? Do I have expensive clothes and expensive jewelry and shoes and all of that? Yeah, but I got a lot of stuff that people don't know about. I don't daily drive a brand new car. The vehicle I daily drive is a 2004 Dodge Ram. Like, it's not this super crazy. A lot of people think artists and they go, damn, this dude's got it made, you know. Even small artists, they think they got it made and they got all these crazy ass things that they got. But a lot of the times, can I afford whatever? A Scat Pack or an RT? I can. I can afford it today. I can put a down payment on it tomorrow and pay it off in the next couple of weeks. But I don't want to show myself like that. To me, that's nothing. And the reason that it's nothing to me is because of the fact that, is it good to have stuff like that? Yeah. But to me, there's no point to it. You can't take that with you. So it doesn't really matter what you drive or how much jewelry you own or any of that. And I think Juice WRLD said it best in his song. It was one of his songs, with Future, on the World on Drugs album. But he goes, nobody wants to talk about the money that they save, but I can't talk about that because I blow money every day. Because when you die, you can't take it with you to the grave, and I love that.
They have a sense of, they have like artists like that have a sense of humility. Even though they have so much money, they're happy because they know I'm just taking care of myself. Like rappers like who flex their money, who wear all these chains, the richest rapper can seem happy on the outside and all in the media. But when he gets home, when the cameras and all the lights cut off and he's by himself at night, he can be the saddest, depressed person, even though he has everything he wants. Money does not buy happiness. Depending on you can have you can have the money to better you can have the money to better your life, but you can't buy your happiness. And you can buy it momentarily, like buy it with clothes. Like this clothes make me happy for me. These drugs make me happy for the moment. This alcohol makes me happy for the moment. These cars make me happy for the moment. But it doesn't have make you happiness in life. So like the rich, like even though the most flexing person, the person who flexes everything, seems happy on the outside and all outside everybody sees him, but when he gets at home, he's in private, he's the most depressed person. That's why you have to have a sense of humbleness. That's why I like J. Cole, because he has a sense of humbleness. This man wears Crocs on stage and out in public because he has a sense of humbleness, and he seems happy on the outside and in private, but we don't know that. So that's why I say you have to have a sense of humbleness, because the richest man could seem so happy on the outside, but on the inside he's dying.
That's one of the things I loved about Juice WRLD. If you'd seen his documentary that they had came out with
Yeah,
a
Into the Abyss.
couple of months ago. There's a part in that documentary. He's a flashy type rapper. He flexes his diamonds and cars and all that, a bit more than Juice WRLD did. A lot bit to me, and more songs than others. But if you look at that section where he's with G Herbo in LA, G Herbo goes, dude, you got all this money, but you don't buy shit with it. He goes and he looks at him and he goes, bro, there ain't no reason to buy shit like that. He goes, yeah, I can buy all this shit, but I can only drive so many cars in one fucking day before I go, all right, I'm tired of driving cars, you know?
Like people like Nipsey, the young RP Nipsey Hussle. He was a person who flexes money, but he flexed it the right way. He bought jewelry and kind of stuff, but like he knew how to. He did it in a humble way. He flexed in a humble sense. He was buying a clothing store. He had his own clothing store. He made investments. He flexes the right way. He's saying, but he also taught people how to get what he got. So that's why he was still he was still showing off and showing his life, but still having a sense of humbleness, to where he said, showing that you can have money and have nice things as long as you keep it in yourself and be keeping the flex. I don't just waste it on bullshit. Like this man
is one of the things that I think is very overlooked. Like you said, if you're in this position to give back to your community and you have this money to give back to your community, why wouldn't you? Like, to me, I was always told that if you're in a position to give back to your community, do it. like that's what honestly one of the reasons I became and decided to start teaching myself how to be a mechanic, because the community I was growing growing up in, there wasn't a lot of mechanics that you could go to fix certain vehicles. So when I got these skills to be a mechanic and this knowledge of being a mechanic, I'm like, damn, what can I do now? Like, how can I help people with these skills that I've gotten and developed?
Yeah, like teach him how to invest. Like Nipsey Hussle, the old Nipsey Hussle was when he first started blowing up, when he started becoming famous. They asked him, now that you got all this money, um, invest in some assets. He was like, what? He was like, yeah, invest in assets. That was like a shocking answer for a young person. I was like 20 years old at the time. He's saying, yeah, all that chains and the jewelry is cool at the time, but you need something that's gonna appreciate value, not something that depreciates in value. Like these cars, like all these cars don't appreciate in value over time. Actually, like as soon as you leave a lot, it depreciates in value. So why?
You get like a 50% drop in value the second you drop it off the lot. So, and with that, obviously, with some high end vehicles, the price will go up on them, or whatever, but you got to spend millions of dollars on the vehicle for it to even go up. So at that point, you're paying so much money, it's not even worth driving the shit at that point, you know.
Like
But like you said, if you got all this money, what else are you gonna do with it other than blow it?
like so little. Like there's a lot of jewelry that does appreciate in value, but these rappers go and ruin it by putting extra diamonds in it. You don't need it. At the same time, but not at the same time. There's a lot of jewelry, but there's a little bit of jewelry that only appreciates like certain rollies that's plain appreciate in time. Only certain watches in general appreciate in value when you just leave it the way it is. But once you put all them diamonds and start busting it down to make it extra flashy, just for the attention, you actually spending more money just to have it depreciate and come out your pocket instead of just leaving it there. You can have a watch you can flex with and show off with that can you spent like 5,000 for it. Later on, that can be watch can be like worth 20,000, 30,000 if you just leave it the way it is. But the way hip hop is nowadays, you have to flex, you have to maintain an image and keep it up. So that's why they go and add all this extra unnecessary shit to it and lose more money and just waste it. And now they just have a useless watch on their wrist just to look good for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour to impress people who you're only going to see once or twice in your life and who just like you for me that don't care for that's why I'm not big on jewelry. That's why I like to wear jewelry, but I don't care if it's real or fake because I don't want to impress people I don't know. I do it for myself because I don't want to just impress somebody for the moment or for life and they don't even care. It's like, oh yeah, it's cool. And like you can't control who watches you. So like somebody's gonna rob you for like, oh, I can make this money temporary to better my life, but you're also taking a chance. So that's why I don't really in my interested in jewelry like that anymore or designer. I don't care if it's real or fake. As long as I know I look good for myself. That's why I like to look good for myself. So that's why I wear it for myself. I don't wear it for nobody anywhere else. Because that temporary stuff is not gonna last long.
I have nice watches. I have, you know, I actually own a Rolex Submariner. It's not a new one. It's a 2007 Rolex Submariner, and I was it was a stupid purchase to begin with, but I thought about putting diamonds in it, and I started talking to the guy that does all the appraisals and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, if I add diamonds to this, I said, will it look better? Yes, but is it worth it in the value? And he goes, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, if I drilled into this watch today and put diamonds in this face like you want, he said, your watch would drop in value. He said, it would never come up past even its original selling point, even what you bought it for broken before I had it fixed. He said it would never get past that point because it's aftermarket and nobody wants that. The best thing to do if you want a fully diamond watch just buy it from the factory like that. If the factory doesn't make it with diamonds, there doesn't need to be diamonds in it. Not everything has to be super flashy. Like, do I like watches that look like that have big shine on them and all of that? Yeah, but to me, the best watches are plain. I love just whatever that straight stainless steel or rose gold or yellow gold or whatever. To me, that looks the best. It looks the cleanest. And it's one of those watches, like you said, it can be worn to impress a bunch of people if they really know what it is and be like, damn, it's a really nice, expensive watch. But at the same time, you can wear it out to a regular day. People won't know what it is and they won't make a big fuss about it. They'll just look at it and go, hey, man, that's a nice watch.
Because you're only gonna impress somebody for so long. You get like say you're at festival this weekend, you're only gonna impress somebody like turn a couple of heads walking up the street for like a few seconds. If you're standing in the club, you're gonna impress somebody for like about an hour, like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, they're gonna be looking at you. Yeah, yeah, turning up. You're only gonna impress somebody for like 5-10 minutes to an hour, and then you'll probably never see that person a day in your life again. And then you just impress them for the moment. Like you're gonna do all this person. Like the only
To
person.
me, I'm actually very big into collecting watches. I like to collect watches. It's one of the things I like to invest my money in and spend my money on.
If you
But I've I've actually had to stop wearing it because I ended up getting one of my tattoos is on my wrist, and it's the exact same wrist I wear my watch on, and I did it on purpose so that way I noticed myself. I did a self reflection with myself and noticed I was losing, like, me being humble. I wasn't being as humble as I used to be. I used to go out and wear these expensive ass watches and shit. And I was like, damn, dude, I'm not being humble. I'm not being original to what I started off as before this. So let me go get this. So now I physically can't wear a watch for another month. Like once, probably another 2 or 3 weeks, I can't wear another watch. And it feels weird to a point because I used to wear one every day. It used to be a part of my daily thing. I would wear, but it humbled me in a way where it was like I can't rely on this. I have to rely on me, not on my jewelry or anything like that to impress people. And I really don't mind that. Do I have expensive jewelry? Yeah, I have a tennis chain that I wear pretty much every day. It's really nice. And most
then
of the time, though, I don't wear it. And if I do wear it, sometimes I just don't even want me. I don't even want to be seen with it because to me, it's not humbling. So sometimes I'll wear it. I'll just tuck it in.
at the end of the day, as long as it makes you happy, go ahead. But as if you're just collecting and not showing it off, and that makes you happy, and you were just collecting all this wealth so you can help your family in the end, that's cool for me. Like if I had a watch, a $30 watch that can appreciate about, I can just hold on to it and help my family out with that. That's fine. Like for me, I am trying to get music with this rich thing, get rich in this music thing, but it ain't to show off and bother. It's like, yes, I'm gonna buy my family some of the things they want that they always dreamed about, but it's also to help them so they never have to worry in life about another thing, and just having a sense of humbleness. Like if I can help my family first with this music thing, and then have enough money to help anybody, like help out my community or some part other parts in the world, then I would happily do so. I ain't gonna just go throw it away on some useless diamond watch that ain't going benefit me in the end and benefit me benefit me at the end of the day. So it's just useless. So I don't see the flex because it's not a big deal. Because you can't take it at the end, you can't take it to the grave with you. Can't take it to heaven. You can't take it to hell with you. You can't take it. They, of course, they can. You can be buried with it, but you can't take it to the afterlife with you if you believe in an afterlife. So that's why I don't really wear jewelry as much. Like I like to wear it, but it's simple, it's subtle. That's why if I like I wear, I like to wear. I like. Don't get me wrong. I do like having nice things, nice luxury items to wear out. But there's subtle things like subtle shirts. They ain't the flashiest. They ain't the the biggest, fanciest thing in the world, but yes, it is name brand, but it ain't, it's just a simple color and it's just plain simple stuff like this. I know that some people like, oh, that's whack, that's not popping, just subtle flexing and having some subtlety. You ain't always gonna be flashy at the end of the day. So as long as you impress yourself and you're benefiting yourself, I guess it's all right. But like, you ain't gotta have.
To me, some of the best kind of jewelry is the ones that not a lot of people know about. Like it's very subtle. I have one diamond piece, and it's a diamond tennis chain. But a lot of the jewelry I wear on a day-to-day basis isn't stupid expensive. It's little, actually, it's actually very small little silver pieces. I don't even wear gold. I wear silver. And I think it, to me personally, I think it complements my skin a lot better, which is why I wear it. But at the same time, it's not super, super expensive. It's almost bringing that aspect of, man, the artist that I really like, he's not, he doesn't have all of this expensive jewelry and stuff. He's got stuff that I can afford with my job, you know. It
Yeah,
almost brings that personal aspect back to it because of the fact that it's not this 20, $30,000 chain. It's this little whatever $150, $200 piece that if you just save up for a little bit of time, you can be like, damn, you know, I can get that. That can be one of the little goals I work towards, you know.
yeah, that's the world we live in now. That's the world imagery. You have to be rich and have all these material things to have a good and happy life. I guess, well, I don't know why that is, but it's the way the world is now. We have to have all this stuff to have a good life, to have a fancy, have a good life and to have happiness and just be this big person in the world, to have all the material things.
Like to me, if you ask me, if you said, look, you need one vehicle for the rest of your life, and that's the only thing you can drive for the rest of your life. It wouldn't be no super. It wouldn't be a McLaren or a Ferrari. I'll tell you exactly what it would be. It would be. It's going to be a brand new 2022 Dodge Ram 1500 with a Cummins diesel in it, and I'd be happy with that for the rest of my life. I would drive that every day for the rest of my life, and I would not have a problem with it because it's practical and it's nice, yeah, but it's not super super flashy where people are like, damn, dude, that dude's got hella money. It's kind of one of those things where if you know it's expensive, you know, but if you don't know, you look at it and just go, damn, well, that's a nice truck, and then you just move on with your day, you know.
Yeah, all these fast, expensive, fancy cars like the McLaren are highly dangerous and take lives. No one wants to talk about it. That's how Paul Walker died. One of this dude, if you watch Ink Master and you're really into tattoos, Ink Master, Daniel Silva, this white guy, his friend died. He actually killed his friend drunk. That's part of the reason why he was drunk, because he was drunk. But he had this fancy fast car, the McLaren, and he hit a he had went off the road, hit a stop sign, and hit a tree. Those cars are one of the most dangerous cars. They don't want to talk about that. That how it's fancy, always nice, you can show off, but if you pushing it and you misusing it, you can easily have a life taken just for trying to show off and speed down the road.
Hell, even normal cars to a degree are dangerous like that. Like I said, I drive a Ram 1500. It's not super crazy, but me being how I am, a gearhead, if you will, I do like to modify my vehicles. My vehicles aren't stock. Vehicles are faster than they should be. My Ram stock pushes about 350 horsepower as of right now. It's pushing about 450. It's keeping up with brand new Charger and Challenger RTs. And I'll tell you, driving it in the rain is damn near a religious experience. It is. It's terrifying because you think, oh man, it's a truck. It's easy to drive, you know. Then you get it in the rain and you realize the back end's gonna step out over nothing. And once that back end steps out, unless you really know what you're doing and how to drive that truck, you might get in an accident right there. And there you go. That you could be dead. And a lot of people don't think about that. Even normal vehicles, if you don't treat a vehicle the right way, what I mean treating a vehicle the right way is drive it safely. You could kill somebody, dude. It's not hard. I mean, think about it like this. You take my truck, for example, you got a 7,000-pound vehicle coming at you at 90 miles an hour. The little brakes you got on that truck does not stop a big ass truck coming at you at 90 miles an hour. That ain't gonna do very much. So you have to take it and be responsible with it. You can't just go, that don't pertain to me because my vehicle is super crazy. I tell you, I've driven Challenger RTs, I've driven Charger RTs, I've driven Scat Packs, and it's scary, honestly, because it's a lot of power, and if you don't know how to control it, you could seriously hurt yourself, or you could hurt somebody else. And I think that's the scariest part that not a lot of people talk about, is that there's always that possibility of you hurting yourself or you hurting somebody with these high horsepower cars, like you said with Paul Walker, where he just got in a crash. He was going way too fast and he couldn't handle it. Back in, stepped out, and he wrecked, killed him.
My opinion, if I had to rank cars in the danger zone, I'll put sports cars first. It's like technology, like supercars, like technology cars, second, and regular cars third. And a lot of people's gonna disagree with me with that. Agree with me that, but yeah, it's true, and it's all. I know we're getting off topic and talking about cars, but it's all in the sensibility of the good life is just everything fancy. So I think fancy sports cars is one of the most dangerous things in the world, and one of the most dangerous set of cars in the world. And then technology cars like Teslas, because they can just easily be hacked and go corrupt and have an own mind, because it easily can gain some self-awareness. And then the third is like ranks third in dangerous cars. But that's all. That's all on accessibility with it. We off topic, and I feel like I'm gonna end it right. I want to end it like in that topic right here. And overall, everything fancy and all this stuff material stuff doesn't matter, because over time the images, you have to have all this to have a good life. That's what I don't like in music and imagery and pop culture. I don't know why it is, but it's always been like that, and it needs to be changed. You need to have a sense of humbleness. And that's why I like interviewing people to get to know them, because I feel like all this material things blocks who the person really is.
Yeah, you can't get a real feel for the person if all you look at is what they have, You can look at it and be like, oh, you could see, like I said, you could see the diamond chains that I have and go, well, he's just an asshole. He's only focused on himself. And unless you actually talk to people and get to know them, you have no idea what they're going to be like.
But yeah, that's why obviously I'll go back to my small time getting off topic. That's why a lot of people, when they see Teslas, that's why a lot of people who are evil and who not evil but don't have a sense of respect for other people's property. That's why people damage and key Teslas, because they think everybody who owns Tesla is rich, snobby, and just a racist asshole. That's why people mess with a lot of Teslas nowadays. If you see on the internet, that's why people key them, scratch them up, and just what's the word for it? They just destroy other people's property and just mess with it, because they think everybody who owns a Tesla is just a straight up snobby asshole. And that's why I don't like today's culture of today's imagery of you have to have all these material things just to have a good life.
Me personally, I can't see myself in a Tesla or a Ford Mustang Mach-E or whatever other electric vehicle they got. Me personally, I just don't like how quiet they are. I'm sure they're much better for range and all of that, and how far you can go with a single, whatever, charge tank of gas, whatever you want to call it. But to me, they're just like you said, they're just dangerous, man.
Yeah, that's why I like to talk to them. I like to do these interviews just to get to know the artist a little bit better. And I know I'm on a personal level already. I want to get to know, have other people see what I see and get to know them just a little bit more and have an insight. So I'm gonna end it here because I know it's getting late. It's late as fuck, and I know this part is it's over an hour long. So I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for talking to me. If you got anything going on, let the fans know right now what you got going on that you can tell them.
Be ready for the album coming out sometime soon.
Anything else you want to tell them? Like shows coming up? Anything else? Like tell them where they can find Young Rose.
You can find it on SoundCloud, and it's coming up to YouTube pretty soon. I just gotta work it on YouTube.
Well, guys, as I wrap it up, always be a good person, stay humble, and as always, keep 100. 100. I'm out. Let's see how to stop this recording.